Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Dorothy. I'm a professional astrologer. You can find me on the web at nhastrologer.com. Click that little letter I in the corner of this video and the drop down card will bring you right to my website. So today I want to talk about the month of August, and I'll do this for each of the zodiac signs. But as a preference, I want you to take quick notes here and remember these things first, and then I'm going to get into each individual sign. Got quite a few things going on in August. I've got at least 20 things to talk about. But a couple of the main things that are going on that are very, very important is this whole month we still have Venus in her retrograde motion in the sign of Leo. And with Venus retrograde, this is that time period where we're reevaluating our values, we're reevaluating some love relationships and partnerships, and we really can be even working on our own self-esteem and our own values and the things that we value just personally about ourselves, because that Venus energy does represent very personal energy. All right, so keep that in mind when I talk about Venus throughout the specifics of each of these videos. And I also want to mention that in the first couple weeks, the first week's actually pretty much close to the first 10 days of August, we have quite a few planets at the final 1 or 2 degrees of each of their respective zodiac signs, and mainly it's Saturn at 28 Scorpio, Venus and Jupiter are both at the 28 and 29th degree of Leo. And when we have these energies, when planets are at the end of the zodiac signs, it creates a sense of urgency. So up until I talk about August 11th, before then, Venus and Saturn and Jupiter transits are all going to have a feeling of urgency around them. So just remember that, and let me get to the details of what's going on now. Okay? All right, Scorpio, this is for you, those with Scorpio rising as well. August 1st and August 2nd, depending on where you live in the world. We do have Saturn as a stationary planet moving into direct motion. It is at 28 degrees of Scorpio. That is in your solar first house. So that means for a little while Saturn was in the second house, and now it's moved back to the first house. And now it's going to move forward again. So as long as it's in the first house, which it will be for a few more weeks, and it is stationary, your focus is on how you've recreated yourself over the last couple of years and what that transformation looks like. Now on the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th of August, we have 3 different things going on. So let me explain. We have Mercury in Leo, Venus in Leo retrograde, and Jupiter in Leo. Venus and Jupiter are making a conjunction on the 4th, and that's at 28 degrees of Leo. There's another sense of urgency going on here, and that urgency is to either, we're feeling like financially strained even if we are not. This is going on in your solar 10th house. So it goes from the 10th house to the 1st house, so that means your career and what you're known for is putting pressure on how you're shifting and changing. Mercury connects with this as well. Mercury is connecting with all that, so we need to communicate in some creative fashion and not just be short in speaking, short-tongued. So Venus and Mercury and Jupiter make a 90-degree angle to that Saturn in Scorpio, anyway, really between the 1st and the 6th of August, and even a little longer, because it is never exact until it's over. It takes a little time for the effect to wear off. And so what we have going on with that is that there's this need for us to be expansive, the need for us to be creative and self-expressive, and we need to do it at work. This is for those with Scorpio rising, and it needs to reflect on who we are. We need to take square angles, create challenges so we can create change. You know, those challenges equal opportunities, so it's important that we spend some time seriously defining what it is that we need. All right, that's what the job is for you guys in the beginning of the month. Now on August 8th, Mars moves into Leo, and so that means Mars is moving into the career sector for the next 7 weeks, and so that in and of itself also reflects and tells us that there's a lot of activity at work. Don't be too stubborn with whatever's going on at work. I know if you have Leo at the midheaven of your chart, which is what the 10th house is, that does tell me that you have a lot of fire and spark, and you're well known at your work. So Mars moving through that sector will be very helpful for you to gain some ground if that's what you choose to be doing at this point in time. On the 11th of August, Jupiter moves into that sign of Virgo, out of Leo into Virgo. Now, Jupiter in Virgo is actually in its detriment. Jupiter used to be in charge of the sign of Pisces. Virgo is the opposite sign, in its detriment. Jupiter is expansion. In the sign of Virgo, Virgo represents paying attention to the details. This happens to be in your solar 11th house, and with it in the 11th house, that 11th house represents our social environments, the causes that we want to look for. Jupiter in that area helps to activate those things. It makes us want to become part of groups. But the Virgo part of the energy that's present there wants you to pay attention to the details and not expand so quickly and so fast. We'll need a little time to get used to that Virgo, Jupiter in the sign of Virgo. It'll take a little time for us to get used to that. So in the meantime, expand, but in slow steps, slow increments, very detail-oriented increments, especially when it comes to devoting yourself to a cause. All right, looking at my notes right behind the camera here. You want to see them? Nah. On the 14th of August, we have new moon in the sign of Leo. It does conjunct the retrograde of Venus as well. I'm going to create a separate video for the new moon forecast and a separate one for the full moon that will be coming up. This will be up around a week before or so. So keep an eye out for that. Subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified. On the 14th, basically, that new moon is in your career sector, so it's going to ignite and give you a little extra energy into your career and what you're known for in the public sector. So keep that in mind when you listen to the video when it comes out. On the 19th, Venus and Uranus are in a trine aspect to each other, and that's from the 6th house of work up to the 10th house of your career. So that definitely means that there is something going on with your career. That new moon must have initiated some type of activity. Trine aspects don't tend to, they can slip by us without us noticing. So I'm letting you know now, it's around the 19th of August, if you have a career, something going on with your career, pay close attention so you can catch any opportunity that might come your way. Okay? Excuse me. On the 23rd, the sun moves into the sign of Virgo in the 11th house as well. And on the 26th, the sun conjuncts Jupiter, who's already in that area of the 11th house in Virgo. So this just means the next month will be the beginning of a year of activity as far as social endeavors and things that interest you as far as global causes. There's a lot going on here, all right? You guys are all about transformation anyway, so help us transform the world into a better place to live. That'll be your job this month. Oof, big shoulders. On the 29th of August is the full moon at 6 degrees of Pisces in your solar 5th house. The 31st, the sun will be opposite Neptune, who is also in that same sector. And what that means is that, you know, where you want to be creative and self-expressive and very passionate, has a lot to do with Piscean energy. And what that is relating to music. If you love the water, you're going to be able to engage in that type of activities over those few days. Music is part of this energy too, of the full moon and what's going on between the 29th and the 31st of August. So take your time and work with this on a spiritual level more so than a physical level those last 3 days of August. Okay, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you very much for watching. Please come to my website, nhastrologer.com. I sang that. There's lots of great stuff there. Memberships and online classes and personal private sessions, so you get a lot more details than what I've just told you here. That's what private sessions are. Know what time you're born. Anyways, thank you very much, and blessed be. And namaste.